Now I work at Click with a business discovery web application. So I've been working with manual tests for a really long time, and I know all jobs have tasks that they don't really look for, that anyone doesn't really look forward to, but you have to do them. And for a lot of testers, that part is regression tests. And in our team at Click, we have tried to think of ways on how to find new ways of looking at the regression tests to make sure that the testers are motivated and inspired while testing. And I'm hoping that the presentation on how we did a game of the regression test in our team will inspire you to look in tests in different ways and in new ways to help and motivate you to get further in the testing and get better results. And for testers, a better result isn't to find no problems, but actually to find the most critical ones and to be sure that you find them before you deliver it to the customer. So that is what we wanted to do with the regression test game as well. So the goals with the game were to actually have more fun, because I believe that testers that do have more fun, they find new creative ways of looking at tests, ways of how to test and where to look. And I think also in that way you find more critical bugs, you get a bit better test coverage because you look at it in a different way. And in Click, we have a really important core value that is teamwork for results, and developers and testers work really tight together to deliver a great product, and I wanted that to be a part of the game as well. I didn't want to focus on individual awards or individuals winning. I wanted it to be a team effort and for the team to reach common goals. And the requirements of the game was that we wanted a really small amount of preparations and a really small amount of administration, because I guess you all know when we get new procedures and new strategies on how to do, they always take a lot of time. Instead of being able to focus on your real task, you get to focus on the procedures and the strategies, and you don't want to do that. You want they to support you in your work, and I wanted that with the game as well, to support you in focusing and being motivated and inspired in the testing. And I also wanted it to be reusable, because I wanted it to be possible to use it while you have small regression test sessions and large regression test sessions. So you can use it whenever you feel you need some more motivation. And we also needed some manager support, so they were agreeing on that we were running regression tests in this way, and also support us in the rewards. We wanted to have some small rewards to be able to have something to reach for in the game. And the team that was part of testing this regression test game was 4 developers and 3 testers. We have 4 really great developers in our team. They really understand how important it is to test, and they really want to make sure that we deliver great features together. It's really about the team effort. And how we did it? We did it in a really simple way. We did it simple board. It was possible to increase it, so you could make the game board how large you want, depending on how big the regression test session was. And we had 3 movable levels on that game, and you could put them wherever you wanted to on the board. And instead of having a dice that moved you forward on the board, it was the points that you received while testing that actually move you forward on the board. So while testing and receiving points, you would move forward to the levels and reach the levels. And we had one first level that was something you would reach if you just did what you had to. And then the second level was something to help you aspire to get even further in your testing. And the third level was more like reaching for the stars, but something to aspire against. And if you were really good and did a really good job, you would reach that one as well. But it was more really of aspiring. And then I think you can do how many levels you want to. I guess it depends on how long you are regression testing and what you want, what goals you want to reach. And then we had game cards. You have game cards in a game, right? So we have game cards for test missions, and we run exploratory testing mostly, so we don't have any step-to-step directions or so. We have ideas and tips on what to test and where to look, but it's up to the tester and the tester's experience on what to test. And usually we have a quality attribute that is included in the test and one default configuration for that test mission as well. And the test missions are usually focused on one part of the feature or one part of the application. The test tours is more about an experience of the feature or the application. We have, for example, the Humpty Dumpty tour. That is about a person that has the heart on the right place, but he always does the wrong thing. So what happens if you do the wrong thing? How does the product handle that? Do you understand that you have done the wrong thing? And is it possible to regret, to change it and to go back, to undo it? So how does the product handle that? And in that one, we only have a focus on a quality attribute. It could be security, usability, or just one experience of the product. And then we also had cards for bugs that you would take up when you found a bug and how you will handle it and what points you will get for the bugs you have found. And we had team rewards that I don't know if you remember the cards. We had really small, really just something to do together and enjoy together. So we love macaroons in our team. So the first reward was receiving some macaroons and have a fika together as a team, because it wasn't only about working together, but actually enjoying the rewards together as well. And we had 2 sessions per day for 2 days. And after every session, we had a debriefing where we discussed what we had been testing and also summarized the points of the test missions and the test tours and the bugs that we found. We also prioritized the bugs. And then we summarized all the points from all the different sessions and moved forward on the board. So we could see where we were, if we were about to reach the levels or if we had some time left. And then the point system. I think that was the main focus on the game. How do you create a game that really focuses on, gives the result you want? Because the point system actually directs where you get with the game, what result you get. So we wanted a good test coverage, and we wanted to find the critical bugs. We wanted to make sure that we don't put a lot of points on just running through a test mission, because then you might end up just running through the surface just to be able to get as many points as possible. And we wanted to make sure that people really dig down and look further into the products. We wanted to make sure that people were looking for those critical bugs, the ones that would be the most disturbing for our customers. So this is how our point system looked. We had 2 points for a completed test mission, and we had an extra point if we covered an extra configuration. As I said before, we always had a default configuration. So if we covered another one, we got an extra point. And if we covered an extra quality attribute, for example, if we had a test mission that was about functionality, and maybe if we looked at usability, we would get another point. We thought that was a way of looking further into the product and looking at the feature in different ways. And for test tours, we had 2 points for a completed test tour and 1 extra point for an extra configuration covered. We didn't have extra points for extra quality attributes because, as I said before, the test tour was one experience, and we didn't want to lose the focus and focus on other quality attributes, because I think then we would lose the focus on that test tour and we would lose the whole point of it. And then we had the bugs. We wanted to make sure that we didn't just focus on finding those little small bugs that might not be that disturbing for customers, but still we want to find them, because if you have a lot of small bugs, that will be annoying to the customers as well. But the main focus was to find the critical ones. So the ones with priority 1, that it's crashes or something that blocks you from using the product's features, or something that is really, really annoying for the customers, then you would get 5 points. And for priority 2 bugs, you get 3 points. And for priority 3 and 4 bugs, you get 1 point. And also at Click, we have several teams that work with different features. And we want to make sure that we don't ignore the bugs that we find on other features as well, because, as I said before, Click has teamwork for results as a core value, and we feel like we're not only one team, we're a really big team as well, so we have to help each other out as well and take responsibility for what we find on other teams as well. But so then we got 1 point, and then if we looked further into the bug, how did we get it? How could we recreate it and try to help developers to find the problems and the solutions to a bug? We want to make sure that that was prioritized as well. So we got another point for a further investigation of the bug. And the result, as the goal was, we did really have more fun. You get really competitive when you have a game and you want to reach the levels together, so you really work hard to reach that goal. And we found a few critical bugs as well, and I think no other team that tested our stuff later found any new ones, because so it seemed like we found the really critical bugs that were in our features. And I think with the game cards we got more variety as well, because usually testers, they know their area, and they usually try, when you have a regression test, you usually tend to do one test mission or do one test tour, the thing you know and feel good about. But also that can be bad, because sometimes you need fresh eyes on an area that you don't get otherwise. So I think that was the really good thing with the cards, that you can choose what you were testing. And also in that way you spread the knowledge between the team members. So you got, you could always go and ask a colleague, and you got more knowledge within the team in different areas. And then also I think we worked really well together, and we enjoyed reaching the levels and competing together. And we also enjoyed the rewards together, which was fun, and it's a part of team bonding as well, talking about something else than work for a while. And I think the developers, they are usually in our team very good at getting involved in tests as well, but I think they were even more motivated by the competition of reaching a goal and getting rewards and so on. And this was actually, I can't say that it wouldn't have looked like this even if we hadn't run the game. It could have, I don't know. I can't really say, but I know this was the result. In May was the time when we ran the regression test, and in February we ran a 2 days regression test as well. And as you can see, we found a lot more priority 1 bugs in May, and the same amount of priority 2 bugs, and several more priority 3 bugs, and a lot more priority 4 bugs. But still, you don't know. It could be that there were more problems in the product while we were running the regression test. You can never know, but I think it still ended up to being a really good result. And I think the thing you could really see on that was that we didn't get in a lot of bugs from other teams or from the system test team either. So it seemed like we had found the most bugs while doing the regression test. So I think that was actually the way we could really see it. And I think we have things to improve. It was hard to summarize the points. We were losing focus when we were discussing the priority on the bugs and putting on points for the completed test missions and quality attributes and so on. So we thought that perhaps next time we will have a scorecard like a Yahtzee game or something where you can fill out what test missions you have run and how many points you get for that. And also on the cards we would like to register what quality attributes and configurations we have tested also. It's in our test system as well, but still it would be clearer to have that on the scorecard as well. And I think in our competitiveness to reach the levels, we were really good at maybe increasing the priority somewhat on the bugs. I think the priority 1 bugs were still priority 1 bugs, but some priority 3 bugs might have ended up being priority 2 bugs because we were, oh yeah, that's quite important. Now we have to reach that level. And so I think it would be good to have an independent person to actually prioritize the bugs for us, because that way we would know it would get into the right priority. And I think probably afterwards we have changed the priority a bit on a few of those priority 2 bugs. And then we had quality attributes and configurations that I think was a little bit lost. We didn't really enter it somewhere, so I think it should be good to put that on the scorecard as well.